Do you like to eat? I do, and I bet you do too. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about fun with food. When was the last time you had fun about food? Hi, I'm Donna Denson, the dynamic diabetic, and I know that as diabetics, food is not fun for us. It's something that we have to really consider every day on what we eat and what we do. And most of the time, you're hearing about what you should eat or what you shouldn't eat, and that's how you relate to food. So I thought I'd change it up just a bit. And today we're going to talk about some fun food, okay? Um, you know, what makes food fun is that there's so many flavors and textures and variety, and each one has a special story or something about it that's unique, like where it was cultivated first, how it's used, how it's been adapted over time, and its relationship to our health. Today, I just want to talk about some fun facts about food. I think you'll find it interesting. I hope so. Almonds. Almonds were first found in the Mediterranean area about 3000 BC. They're, they're great for your heart health. There's almond milk that's come from that now, and almond butter. So the products that are byproducts of almonds we're loving as well. And let me stop a second and say all of these foods are healthy foods for diabetics. All of these. That's why I'm telling you the fun things about them. Apples. Okay, apples are one of the top 3 favorite fruits around the world. Okay, they're loaded with fiber and vitamin C. Better to eat the whole fruit than peeling it. And it's best fresh rather than baked. If you're going to have it juiced, don't drink apple juice, drink apple cider where the pulp is still there. Bananas. Back in 1917, the banana was labeled a superfood. Yeah, even back then. And people actually use the skins as a food wrapper for other things, or they use the peels on inflammatory wounds. They press the peel onto the skin and it helps it. Brussels sprouts, developed in Belgium. That's why the Brussels, in Brussels, Belgium, in the 16th century. What you should know that's interesting there is just in the last few years, we've started seeing Brussels sprouts show up in the grocery store on the stem. And, looks like shishi lala, right? But actually, they're better. They last longer if you buy them on the stem because they're still being fed by the stem. Okay? Cheese. Milk was left out by accident. The milk soured and curdled. And when they came back, they drained the liquid and there was this solid there, and they tasted it and they decided it was pretty good. And that's how we got cheese. It was an accident, okay? But we're so glad, right? Because now we have so many varieties. And all those stinky cheeses, the ones that I don't particularly like, but the stinky ones, they are soaked in bacteria before they're aged. Okay? That the bacteria is the same that causes foot odor and underarm odor in humans. I'm just saying. That might be why they stink. That was different, right? Chia seeds, new little darling of the health world, right? Well, do you remember Chia Pets? If you remember Chia Pets, their seeds are now a superfood. How about chickpeas? Chickpeas were recorded back 3500 BC, and in France in 6790 BC. That's a very long time ago. They've been around, guys. They've been around. Coconut oil. Lots of us think about coconut oil in today's world as something to a substitute for other fats that we can bake with, cook with, whatever. But coconut oil is also fabulous for your skin. And if you have frizzy hair, coconut oil. Take care of it. Coffee. There are over 1,000 chemicals in coffee. What? There are. And lots of us think that the darker the roast, the more caffeine. And it's actually the opposite. The lighter roast have slightly more caffeine. One of my favorites, dark chocolate, that goes back to 2000 BC and was used for medicinal purposes a lot. And you know when chocolate sits out or you have it in the cabinet a long time and it'll get that white around it. That's called a bloom, okay? And you can melt that chocolate and then let it harden back and it'll be just fine. You can use that chocolate. You can eat that chocolate. It's fine. So that's a good thing to know. Eggs. Brown eggs are not better than white. Always heard they were, but they aren't. And eggs can be white, they can be cream, they can be brown, they can be blue, they can be green, or speckled. All kinds of ways to get your eggs. Kale. Back in 2012, people started talking about kale. Before that, it was just a garnish. Nobody ever ate it. It just made the plate look pretty, right? Well, now, you know, it is the superfood. And there's lots of varieties. I wasn't aware of that. There's all kinds of colors, flavors. Thomas Jefferson was actually a big fan of kale and grew several varieties back in the 1800s. Lentils. Lentils were eaten in ancient Egypt and Rome. One thing about lentils, don't undercook them because they'll give you a stomach ache. Milk, we know cows, right? And sheep and goat and yak. Yak. That's how we get all these cool cheeses though, guys. Mushroom. Mushroom is not a vegetable. It's not a fruit. It's a fungus. There are 10,000 known types of mushrooms. That's crazy. But some of the wild ones are poisonous. So you want to be careful. Don't just go picking mushrooms and eating them unless you really know what you're doing. And there are some also that could cause you to have hallucinations. So watch out. Oats. We know oats are good for us, right? We eat them all kinds of different ways. But did you know that oats can be used to soothe eczema or inflammation on the skin? It's great in facial masks to clear your skin. And I want to say that as a child, as a baby, I had eczema and I was bathed in a bathtub with oats twice a day. I guess I probably thought it was fun and it relieved my itching, but my poor mom. Can't imagine having to clean that up. Quinoa. 5,000 years we've had quinoa. It comes in black, red, white, and yellow. The yellow and white is what we see mostly. The black and the red is stronger, earthier taste to that. Rice. 40,000 varieties. 40,000 varieties of rice. They've discovered tools for cultivating rice as old as 8,000 years in China. Wild rice is different than the other rice. Okay, it's from a different plant family and has stronger flavors. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potato is not a potato, it's a root, okay? And it's from the morning glory family. And we can eat the leaves and the shoots. They're also very delicate and delicious. Tea. Ever since the 3rd century, they've used tea for medicinal purposes, okay? And tea is number 2 only to water for the favorite liquid, the drink around the world. I thought it might have been coffee, but no, it's tea. Tea is number 2. Vinegar, another accident where there was wine made, forgotten, and when they came back to it and opened it, it was sour. I don't know exactly how they figured out what to do with this sour wine, but now we use it for cooking, cleaning, and medicinal purposes as well. Water. Not much I can say about that. The fun thing about water is it's just perfect. It's perfect for everything you need. So drink water. It's also the number 1 preferred beverage. Winter squash. Interesting. You can roast the seeds. Wash them, dry them with paper towel, put them on a cookie sheet with a little oil, a little salt, roast them. They make a delicious snack. And you can also eat the skins of winter squash, but the thinner ones would be more palatable than the thick ones, if you want to try that. And lastly, yogurt. It's been around 6,000 years BC. Yogurt, the fun thing is that it didn't come from, Greek yogurt did not come from Greece. Just so you know, it didn't come from Greece. It was manufactured in Greece, but it did not come from there. It was not discovered there. And the other tip about yogurt, I always want to remind you, is watch for the sugar. That's the fun tips I have for you on food today. This is nothing about what you should eat or you should not eat. It's pretty much just information, fun facts, I hope, and I hope you enjoyed that. I also want to let you know that over time, I have done quite a few of these videos. And I also do a Diabetic Minute every day video. I am having some surgery, and I've decided that this is the right time for me to take a break. I have never taken a break. This represents almost 2 years that I have not gone away from doing these things. And I'm going to take 2 weeks off. I'm going to recuperate and regenerate and revive myself to go forward. So you won't see me for a couple of weeks. Please don't forget me. And what I would say is share this information today and then subscribe to my channel so that you know when I come back. You won't forget, okay? Subscribe today. I hope I found you safe. I hope I found you well. You know, I always hope I find you happy. Thank you so much for being here. This is Donna Denson, the Dynamic Diabetic. May God bless and keep you until we connect again in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.